Hi everyone, this week's question is what should be considered when choosing between burial or cremation?
The biggest factors: preference, service details, scheduling, and pricing. Now, this is going to be a lot of information, so please reach out if you have any questions after watching.
First, what did the deceased want? Did they have a preference to be buried or cremated? Knowing this can make things easier.
Now, if this was never made clear, think of your family history. What have other relatives chosen?
Often we hear, just cremate me, and this means different things to different people. Well, it's clear they wanted to be cremated. What do we do with the cremated remains? Should there be funeral services?
Now, when it comes to funeral services, there are lots of options. A common myth is that you can't have a wake or viewing if you are being cremated. And that is not true. Having a wake is commonly part of cremation funeral services, either before cremation with an open casket or after cremation with an urn.
Religious customs can also play a big role in this choice. Different religions have different guidelines.
Also, scheduling can factor in. If people are traveling or unavailable, sometimes the funeral doesn't happen right away. One of the benefits of cremation is giving more time to plan.
Conversely, some families want to have a funeral quickly. If the deceased was sick and family already gathered to spend time with them, it makes sense to have things sooner while everyone's here.
Now, to give you a better idea of timing, with burial, typically the funeral takes place within a week. With cremation, the funeral usually happens after a week has passed. Of course, there are exceptions.
Lastly, there's pricing. Cremation is nearly always less, often by thousands of dollars.
A few other things to consider. You can be cremated and then buried, sometimes even in a cemetery lot that's otherwise full.
Taking cremated remains home in an urn is an option, but planning for a final resting place makes things easier on future generations. For example, if someone has cremated remains at home on a shelf and then they pass away, now what happens?
Again, we know this is a lot of information, but this is what we do. Helping families find solutions is what we're here for.
Thank you for watching. We'll see you next week, and please keep the questions coming.